With the Indian Association ground here in Singapore, and I've managed to catch up with the Nepal captain, Paras. Paras, first of all, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Born on the 24th of October, 1987.
Yep.
Tell us where this cricket dream started.
Well, I think I actually didn't want to become a cricketer, honestly, when I was young. Although I loved playing the game and watched cricket since I was very young. Started from school, we used to have this inter-school cricket tournaments, but never had this dream of playing for the country. It was just pure passion for sports. You played football during the rainy season, and then you played cricket during the other, seasons. So it was just about, enjoying the game, following the game on TV, trying to emulate bowling actions of different players, then batting, stances and all those sorts. So it just started very young, and it's just started growing like one after another.
You talk about emulating different players. Anybody you looked up to in particular at the time?
I personally haven't had any idols as such, but I followed the Australian cricket team. I like the way they've been very competitive with how they played them. Watched players like Sachin Tendulkar, Brian Lara growing up, McGrath, Shane Warne. You had Alan Donald, running up with his white, mark on his nose and all those sorts. So just all these were cricketing. I wouldn't call them idols, but somebody you looked up to.
And how difficult has it been for you, coming from an up-and-coming country like Nepal, to make an international career out of the game and make a name for yourself internationally?
I never thought we'd come this far, honestly speaking, because we had this whole dream and we had this passion that we want to, reach at the highest level. And last year when we got ODI status, that was when that would be one of the penultimate goals that personally as well as a collective team we had in our mind. And even before that, we had this dream of playing the World Cup when we made to the 2014 World Cup 2020 in Bangladesh. That was a major factor, growing up. But it wasn't such that we take this up as profession and we will be professional cricketers. But we've come a far away from where we were.
You have indeed, and you talk about this journey that you guys have had. Tell us about the journey from coming from an ICC Division 5 team, I think, to now having one-day international status.
Obviously, a lot of ups and downs through the various divisions. There were times when you play the World Cricket League Division 5, 4-3-2. It's a matter of one bad day, and it could mean end of careers, end of dreams, end of everything. And we had that up and down cycle where we're like, if we lose, there were times when I thought if we lose this division, we'd probably end up stop playing. And there are times when if you win this, what's going to happen? And so that's how the whole journey's been. And it was just a matter of grinding it out, pushing yourself. Associate cricket is not easy, because there isn't much except for the love for the game. Only few countries are doing well in terms of how they have professionalized the sport. So for us, from Division 5 to ODI country, the only positive, I'll probably say our biggest positive would probably be the kind of support that we get off the field. There's massive fan following, and since the 2014 T20 World Cup, a lot of people have started to invest into our cricket structures as such. So it's been amazing. To come to where we are today from that kind of a cricketing background, most people and most teams and most people, it's not the best of environment for you to excel, but as cricketers, I think we have managed to exceed expectations.
Positive news to hear, especially about investing in the game, because as an up-and-coming country, that's obviously something that you need. But just this period that you've talked about, going through the ICC cricket leagues, etc. You've been the longest-serving captain for Nepal cricket. How do you deal with the pressures of captaining a cricket-crazy nation?
Just going out there and performing. I think before you're a captain, you've been chosen as a player first, who is representing your country, and your first and foremost priorities should be to go out there and win matches. So that has always been my first and foremost, goal as a player. And then as a captain, of course, it's added responsibility. Expectations have grown tenfolds. People expect us to, play like any other cricketer in the world. They want results like any other cricketing nation. And it's been hard. But having said that, I think the positives are more than the negatives. Why? Because this is something that we chose on our own, where nobody forced us to play cricket. But having gone through this whole journey, we've come so far where, as cricketers, we can proudly say that we have somehow made a mark in international cricket. But I believe Nepal cricket has a brighter future. I think there are things slowly happening where there are people who are ready to support, and there are keen investors out there who want to help and sustain this game. The government is very, very supportive now. So if we get all these resources soon, I think we could become a full-fledged cricket nation, because we have the fans, we have the talent, and some of our players are playing all over the world. And so it's just a matter of putting the structure in place, and with that, we should be able to do even better in coming years.
Let's talk about more recent times. Earlier in the year, you were the first Nepal batsman to get a one-day international 100. A couple of evenings ago, wonderful innings that I witnessed, the first to get a T20 international 100. How important were those achievements for you in your development as a captain and as a leader? And if you can just talk to us a little bit about those innings.
I think the most important thing was those runs had to be converted into the team's victory, which eventually happened. I think even if you score runs and the team doesn't, it really doesn't matter. So for me, both the cases, I think these are records where I didn't have in my mind that I'd go out there to break a certain kind of a record as such. As a cricketer, I think most cricketers are going out there just trying to do the best on that particular day to help your team win. And there are days when things come off well for you, and there's just one of those days, a couple of days ago, when everything seemed to hit the middle of the bat, and I just backed myself, followed my instincts. And it's also to do with how you train, how you prepare yourself. So far so good, but like I said, this is just the beginning of the journey for Nepal cricket. I think we're a young, fresh ODI nation, so hopefully if we can maintain this status for a while and keep pushing ourselves, there will be a lot of records that will be broken in future.
Let's talk about the current tri-series and just moving forward from here. You go to Oman, where you play against a couple of other senior teams, Ireland being one of them. How important are these kind of series for teams like yourselves in Singapore to be brushing shoulders with the elite of world cricket and some of the more experienced sides?
That's how you learn. As a cricketer, you only become better when you play against better opponents, better cricketers, and it's about adapting to different situations. And for us, it's an opportunity to make a mark as well. So if we want to, rub shoulders with the so-called big boys of cricket, we'll have to start doing well at your level and start beating teams, that are slightly above you. So we're in this stage where, as an ODI country, we need to, become the best at where we are today for us to challenge the bigger test-playing countries. And Ireland and Afghanistan have been one of those prime examples where they have done well in ICC events where they managed to beat, like big teams, and that way, at their level, they managed to become the best in associate cricket. So that's how the transformation began. For us, we would like to take up the same challenge where we become the best at this level, and then take things forward. So opportunities like this will definitely help us prepare. If the results come in our favor, send a message across as well that we are slowly but steadily coming up the ranks.
Well, you certainly are doing that. You've been part of the Nepal cricket team and set up for a long time. What do you think, in your opinion, Nepal cricket needs to do to continue with their ascendancy in international cricket and be a household name?
Cricket's a household name back home already in terms of viewership. There are a lot of people who follow the game, but for the game to sustain and players to keep performing at this level, we need to first prioritize what's important. I've always felt, and I think there's no hiding, that your players, your current group of players, should be a center of the universe where you revolve around everything that you need to help the team perform. So probably now we have recently had elections as well. So with that, cricket management should look forward to setting up contracts for our players, getting that exposure where players go out there and play regular cricket, set our domestic cricket up where there's regular cricket being played at under 15s, under 16s, with our women's cricket team as well. We've been doing well with limited sources. So all of these things, if you can put that into place, there's enough talent to sustain itself. But talent alone won't help, because we're at this level where there could be 3, 4 very good talented players performing, but if you don't perform as a team, the end results will not be in your favor. It has to be such that the whole system has an amazing talent pool of cricketers who are ready to shine at the international level, and for that you need to back these players up. And if we can have that structure in place, Nepal cricket will be heard and seen over for a very long time.
You talked about the beginning of your career, what's happening now in international cricket for Nepal? Not saying that you're old, but have you thought about life after cricket?
Obviously, I mean, cricket's been the most integral part of my life, where it's given almost everything that I would have ever dreamed of. I've never thought that I'd be playing for my country, but having got this opportunity, I've tried to be as honest as possible and as determined as possible to help my country, prosper. So yeah, I would definitely be in the cricket system one way or the other. As a cricketer right now, you're trying to prove yourself that you're good enough to go out there and perform and win matches for your country. That's all you can do for as long as you play. And besides that, I think the rest is up to how things unfold. But for me personally, somehow or the other, I will definitely be involved with Nepal cricket.
That's good to hear. And just before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to tell the fans that they don't know about PARAS KHADKA?
I mean, our fans have always been our biggest strength. Keep faith in us. I think we have a very young team. Sometimes with young teams, you need to be patient. The results always don't underline what and how the team can function and how the team is. So if we can keep pushing ourselves, I believe this team is really going to do well in the coming years. But it's about getting the support from everybody, and our fans have always been very loyal and very supportive. Just make sure that we keep this thing going, where we support our cricketers, and as cricketers, I'm sure every cricketer that has represented our country and who are playing right now have given their best and will give whatever they have to help their country win.
All right, Paras, thank you very much for your time. I know you've got a training practice to get to. All the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a couple of days.
Cheers.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that was PARAS KHADKA, the captain of Nepal cricket.